Tonight on Texas News Channel, a new organization for students from the Rio Grande Valley.
A homeless man arrested at Jester Dormitory after assaulting an officer.
And UT's former tennis head coach pleads guilty in the college admissions scandal.
You're watching Texas News Channel.
Your leader for live local UT coverage. Good evening and welcome back to Texas News Channel for Monday, April 8th. I'm Mark Ramirez.
And I'm Hal Riley. Thank you for joining us tonight on our very special edition for TSTV's 24/7.
24/7 is Texas Student Television's annual fundraiser where we broadcast live for the entire week.
That's right, we're live 24 hours a day for 7 days, commercial free. If you're interested in donating to support Student Voices, you can go to supportstudentvoices.org, scroll down to Texas Student TV, and click Donate Now.
Well, it's really exciting for all of us here at TSTV and as well as our viewers to see us 24/7 live.
Especially for tonight's show is really unique for them to see the ins and outs of what we do here.
That's especially. Let's actually go into the news. UT's former tennis head coach pleaded guilty today on one count of honest services fraud and conspiracy to commit mail fraud. Michael Center is one of the 14 people involved in the massive college admissions scandal to plead guilty. Center was arrested by the FBI back on March 13th after he was accused of accepting a $100,000 bribe to recruit a student who was not qualified for admission to the men's tennis team.
UT later fired Center following his arrest after 18 years as head coach. The indictment has prompted UT to launch their own investigation into the admission policies in order to prevent this situation from happening again.
UTPD released a video of a man who they said punched a person after the UT-USC football game last September. The incident occurred on the south side of the UT Tower after the game. The person who was punched received surgery for a broken eye socket. The suspect is described as wearing a burnt orange shirt, dark hat, brown eyes, blonde hair, and is 6 feet tall. Anyone who has seen the suspect or has any information is asked to call UTPD at 512-471-4441.
UT police arrested a homeless man for assault after he snuck into Jester dorms. The call came in earlier in the day saying that the man had wandered into the building and went up to the second floor dining area, J2, where witnesses say he refused to leave before panhandling throughout the dorm. Police identify the man as 26-year-old Adam Miller, who has now been arrested for police assault.
If you live in West Campus, you may have heard your friends complaining about elevator issues in the 2400 Nueces apartment complex.
We talked to UT Housing for input on the issue. While 2400 Nueces houses a large number of UT students, residents are expressing concerns about a lack of maintenance work, especially on the apartment building's elevators.
I know that the elevators have really been a big problem recently for a lot of people. I have experienced it before, sometimes I worry about running late to class because of the elevators, but I know that they are really trying to be on top of it. They've really been corresponding with us as they're trying to fix it. So I really honestly feel like they're trying to get the problem solved. So I really think they're working on it.
In the midst of a slightly hectic management switch, UT Housing and Dining is looking to improve the elevator upkeep in 2400 by hiring new maintenance crews.
We have hired one of those companies, which is Tejas Elevators, to do the known work that came with the money that came forward, and also to do some repairs and cleanings and things like that to make the elevators a little more reliable. The work that was contracted with them was to replace the brakes and switches and to clean everything up, and that's in progress. And we've made good progress, but there's still some more work that needs to be done.
2400 Property Management has sent upwards of 7 email blasts to its residents regarding elevator function, most of which acknowledging the problem and providing tentative plans to fix it. UT Housing and Dining maintains its goal of providing safe and functional living spaces for students. I'm Hal Riley, Texas News Channel. We're hoping this petition doesn't go extinct. A campaign to rename Robert Lee Moore Hall is coming to life. UT senior Vikram Sundram wants to rename Moore Hall for someone who he says better represents student values, the fictional Ian Malcolm of Jurassic Park. Moore was known for being a segregationist, and Sundram says students can't feel comfortable with a racist legacy hanging over their heads. For more information about the campaign, you can visit their Facebook page, Malcolm Over Moore.
It's important to me, So in that sense, I think the campaign is important to people who care about the University of Texas representing the values of all the students that attend. The aim of this campaign isn't political, it's a moral thing. This is about creating an initiative where everyone feels welcome inside a certain building. Like it wouldn't feel comfortable to enter a building where like the person the building's named after wouldn't want you there. So that's kind of the distinction we're drawing in terms of trying to draw attention to this campaign.
Last week we showed you a new UT organization for students who live near the U.S.-Mexico border. Mason Carroll shows us how students from the Rio Grande Valley stay close even when they're far away from home.
After a string of tweets talking about the importance of a community for students from the Valley, Arushi Mathaban decided to take action.
All of the people know each other. It's just very connected, and I wanted to start this organization so that we could have a community to be able to talk about our identity issues, being from the Valley, political issues, the social climate, and especially the adjustment to UT, because UT is so different. So I knew that if I wanted a community, I was sure that other people did too, and sure enough, people reached out and got rolling.
Just 3 weeks after Mathaban saw the need for this organization, Valley Horns became an official UT club.
I didn't expect more than maybe 5 or 10 people to show up, but 53 people showed up, and it was really wonderful to hear all their ideas. They had amazing ideas about having a fashion show with Valley culture being displayed. They had ideas for fundraising for undocumented students seeking citizenship, and it just, I didn't know most of the people there, so being able to see how big and how connected and strong our community was just really heartwarming and wonderful.
The club is open to anyone as long as they are respectful, and Mathaban says she is excited for the future of Valley Horns.
They can learn and grow and be part of a community where we're not forced to act a certain way or have to accommodate to a certain culture, and we can just be who we want to be and really feel like we have a home away from home.
Mason Carroll, Texas News Channel.
If you're interested in joining the group, you can message Mathaban on Twitter at Arushi16M.
We'll get through this story in a pinch. UT kinesiology student Jacob Vines was awarded the university's undergraduate research fellowship for his work on nerves that control your muscles. His research focuses on pinching. Think about like when you're putting on a buttoned shirt. You're basically pinching the button. In his study, participants move a cursor around like they're using an Etch-a-Sketch. It looks kind of like this. The goal is to make a diamond-like shape. His hard work and results could lead to new therapeutic tasks for patients with neurological conditions.
Trash is trending in the state of Texas, and yes, you heard that right. The Department of Transportation is hopping on the latest hashtag called Trash Tag. In hopes to clean up the Lone Star State, TxDOT wants Texans to take a before and after photo of littered parks, streets, and other public areas. If you want to get in on the fun, upload your pictures to Twitter with the hashtag #Don'tMessWithTexas. But first, let's take a look at what students said walking along Dean Keaton.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think social media will help reach a big audience. A lot of people will hopefully see it and be inspired even to just like pick one piece of trash off the ground if they see it when they're walking.
I think it's a good idea, yeah, definitely, because it's something so prevalent, especially like in our generation. So it would definitely get the message out there and be heard, and it'll really inspire people to get on with the program.
So I think it's really important for millennials to kind of take a stand in working against, pollution, climate change, all those problems. So I feel like Trash Tag is a really, really great initiative, and it kind of shows the way that we're using technology to kind of jumpstart that movement.
In Texas.
It really is. I really hope it encourages people to keep Texas clean. Well, coming up on Texas News Channel, a family pushes for an Amber Alert for young adults.
And possible improvements to I-35 traffic frustrations. Stay tuned for more Texas News Channel.
This weekend weather, the temps are scorching, but is there a chance for rain this weekend? Stay tuned.
family who suffered a tragic loss is filing a House bill 2 years after the murder of their daughter, 19-year-old Kaylee Mandotti. Her family could not report their missing teenager via Amber or Silver Alert because it only applies to minors and the elderly. Kaylee's mother, Allison Mandotti, believes that her daughter's death could have been prevented. Texas House Bill 1769 aims to include adults on Amber Alerts. Crime Stoppers of Houston says that the bill is supported by the Sheriff's Association of Texas and the Houston Police Department. A transportation advocacy group wants a major freeway removed. Congress for the New Urbanism released its annual Freeways Without Futures report, and I-35 is one of 10 highways on the list. Rebecca Saborio has the story.
Austin is well known for many things, one of which is the infamous traffic, especially on I-35. According to a national report, I-35 was named one of the top 10 U.S. highways that should be removed. Many feel that this is rightfully so.
Only problem is every time I get on I-35, go right down, boom, as soon as you're off the feeder, you go to a dead stop. Especially around like 5, 6 p.m. That's when it's at its worst, when it takes like 10 minutes to just get anywhere, you know?
While many students like Robbie worry about the traffic problem on I-35, groups like the Grassroots Coalition Reconnect Austin are looking to find solutions to this traffic problem.
So you have the opportunity both along the new boulevard at the surface level, but also on the cross streets to create easier ways for transit to serve the population, because when you have a grid, which is what we're talking about, is reinstating that grid on the surface, you can disperse the car traffic much more easily, and you can also accommodate all of the other forms of transportation that people use.
Our hope here at UT is that this traffic problem will be resolved. Rebecca Saborio, Texas News Channel.
Austin's longest-running cab company closed for good after operating for 75 years. Austin taxi cab operator in the city was forced to close because of their rides having decreased. This is due to the city's deregulation of competitive rideshare operators such as Uber and Lyft. The three remaining Austin taxi cab companies are ATX Co-op, Lone Star Cab, and Yellow Cab Austin.
Severe weather over the weekend led to power outages across the city. Austin Energy was busy trying to provide power for 5,000 customers. They reported as of late Sunday, there are currently only 625 customers that remain without power.
The severe weather also forced the cancellation of the Statesman Capital 10K race for the first time in the race's 42-year history. More than 23,000 participants were registered for the annual 10K race. Organizers tweeted that nothing was more important than the safety of the runners. While many runners were disappointed by the cancellation, they believe the organizers made the right decision.
Man, those storms were pretty crazy, kind of scary at
Yeah,
times.
they were really severe, but the weather for this week seems quite the opposite. For more, let's go to Chandler to see what he has for us at the Weather Center. Chandler?
Thanks, Marco. After the break, we take a look at how the weather might change closer to the weekend. Stay tuned. After a stormy weekend, the weather's back with a vengeance. I had to wear this suit today, and y'all, I'm literally dying. Today we had highs around 88, and tonight expect clear skies with lows around 59. Tomorrow, expect a high closer to 87 and low temperatures that night. A little warmer at 62 Wednesday. Expect wind gusts to pick up to almost 25 miles per hour as the temperature stays around the same as it has been, with highs near 90 degrees and lows at night and early morning at about 62. Don't expect any chances of rainfall until we reach Friday, when we have chances of rain around 30% that increase to 50% for the weekend. The rest of the week, we're going to have decreasing highs after Thursday in the mid-80s to Friday with highs in the mid-70s. Highs will reach the high 60s, but keep your eyes out for that 50% chance of rain. That's it from me, live from the Weather Center. I'm Chandler Gibson. We'll be right back with sports.
Welcome back. Tonight we have Clark Dalton to tell us more about Texas basketball's NIT championship.
Thanks for having me on. That's right, Texas basketball won a national championship. Well, sort of. On Tuesday, Texas beat TCU in the NIT semifinal to move on to the tournament championship game against Lipscomb. Let's head to Madison Square Garden for the highlights of the Horned victory this past Thursday. And as you can see, Texas got off to a bit of a slow start, but Jericho Sims is lighting the fire with a nice dunk, and then Dylan Ozatowski is going to make it rain in downtown Manhattan with the corner three. Kerwin Roach, he's going to act like he's going to go for the drive, but he sends it up to Jericho Sims, who delivers with an alley-oop. Jackson Hayes and company like that one, and Roach continues to get everyone involved. He throws it inside to Royce Ham, who dunks it with some power. And if you thought that was powerful, check this out. Dylan Ozatowski sends it in with authority, 19 points and 11 rebounds for Dylan in his final game, but this is the highlight of the night. Matt Coleman gets the steal, throws it ahead to Roach, who adds a little extra flavor with a 360 dunk. It's time to light the tower orange as the Longhorns win 81-66 in the mecca of basketball.
So Clark, after Texas's mediocre season, how were the Longhorns able to make this stellar run at the NIT?
One thing you noticed throughout the tournament was there was a great deal of bench production. Players like Jericho Sims and Royce Ham, who hadn't really stepped up all season, came in big in close games.
So based off of this win, what do Texas fans have to look forward to for next season?
The key to this win was Texas was able to overcome a shroud of negativity, because throughout the season, this team was criticized heavily, and instead of moping saying, well, this isn't the NCAA tournament, the team banded together and made an impressive run.
All right, well, hopefully they'll do better next season. Always a pleasure having you, Clark. Let's head over to Donya to see what's new in Hollywood. Donya?
Thanks, Marco. Coming up next, we'll be right back for your entertainment news. Welcome back to Texas News Channel. Get ready to grab some popcorn, a blanket, and your friends. With summer right around the corner, Austin Green Spaces and Alamo Drafthouse teamed up to bring you 9 free movies in 9 different parks around Austin. Classics like The Little Mermaid and Angels in the Outfield will play in upcoming weeks, and the next film showing of Zoolander is at Zilker Park this Friday. Here's your latest Hive update if you've been living under a rock. Netflix will premiere a Beyoncé documentary with a behind-the-scenes look at her historic performance at last year's Coachella Festival. Before making the announcement, Netflix released a mysterious poster that used the same font and shade of yellow that Queen Bee used to announce her Coachella appearance. The singer's scholarship program is also named Homecoming Scholarship Award Program. We all know Beyoncé isn't afraid of surprise drops and ominous messages, and we can't wait for this one. I've got more news in the music world. Lil Nas X may not have the horses in the back, but he does have Billy Ray Cyrus. Lil Nas X's viral hit Old Town Road was removed from Billboard's Hot Country chart because, to them, the track, quote, does not embrace enough elements of today's country music. Before remixing the song on his own, country music legend Billy Ray Cyrus took to Twitter and defended the song by saying, "It was so obvious to me after hearing the song just one time. What's not country about it? What's the rudimentary element of a country western song? Then I thought, it's honest, humble, and has an infectious hook and a banjo. What more do you need?" Since then, Cyrus and Lil Nas X have released a remix, and it's now the #1 song in the country. Our viral video of the week is a cute one, y'all. A Texas teen surprised her boyfriend in the hospital after he was unable to attend their prom. Brock Strickland was diagnosed with astroblastoma and recently had a tumor removed. If you want to help Brock with his medical expenses, you can find his GoFundMe at the link on the screen. That's all I have from the entertainment world. I'm Donya Allen.
Thanks, Donya. Thank you for tuning in. If you have a news tip, make sure to email us at news@texasstudenttv.com. Be sure to follow us for news updates throughout the week, and you can follow us on Twitter at Texas News TSTV and like us on Facebook. We would also like to thank our donors so far: Ann Dolan, Emily and Brian Whalen, Andrew Dolan, Gabriela Cesaroni, Janet Dolan, and Fran Mittler. Celeste and Bill Soden, Nick and Megan Dolan, Maria, Susan, Peter, and Alexander Wanamaker, James Dolan, Jean Dolan, and Mark Grovina, Bridget and Andrew Bolden.
Thank you so much. Your support helps current and future student journalists, producers, and directors pursue their passion. Good Morning Texas goes live on Wednesday morning at 7, and Tower Talks is Wednesday morning live at 8 a.m. Don't miss it. I'm Hal Riley.
And I'm Marco Ramirez. Have a great week. We're doing that now.
Wrong side.